My name is what? My name is who? My name is Dyl Talks Sports. Let's get it. This is Dyl Talks Sports.
As the intro said, this is Dyl Talks Sports. We're back with another episode. Week one, review, analysis, breakdown. Really happy with my picks week one. Kind of got most of them correct. I'm going to talk about the few I didn't, but let's get it, guys. So excited to see what we got going on here. So week one of the NFL season kicked off with the Cowboys and the Eagles. I went with the Eagles in this game just because of, all the offseason drama with the Dallas Cowboys, as we always see. And, what I saw from the Cowboys, though, I was very impressed. Dak showed me a lot. I thought the offense played really well. The offensive line played really well. Of course, it helps Jalen Carter getting kicked out, not even before the first play of the game. Don't know what he was doing there, but Dallas surely missed a pass rusher like Michael Parsons. That Michael Parsons dude probably be really good on the team, on the Cowboys. But Eagles, showed the domination, both sides of the ball, always control the trenches. That's why the Eagles are a really good team. They control the trenches. But, Dak played really, really good, 21 to 34, 188. Hurts, more of a rushing game for him, typical. He usually passes a little bit and rushes a little bit, but 2 rushing touchdowns, played great. Dallas probably should have came out on top of this game. CD had a couple big drops at the end of the game that really cost Dallas, especially after he had such a good game, 7 catches for 110. But those 2 drops at the end really killed the team and killed the momentum for Dallas. So Dallas fans, I wouldn't be too nervous. I think you guys are going to be all right. I think Dak looked healthy again. He actually looked like he had movement in the pocket, could throw the ball and do everything that he wanted to do in the pocket. So Cowboys fans, don't worry. You guys might be all right. But Eagles, again, showed why they're, consistently a good team. Always revamp their team and get better in spots they need to get better in. So that was that game. That was great. Thursday night game, kick it off. Friday night game, another great game, kick it off. We had Chargers and Chiefs. As we remember, this was Dill's talk of the week, or Dill's toss-up of the week. I think I actually did say we were going to go with the Chargers, and the Chargers ended up winning. Justin Herbert, coming off the Madison Beer news, proved why he's him. Madison Beer can make any man play a little bit better. So Herbert, 25-34, 318, 3 touchdowns. Played a great game. Chargers won the game 27-21. Travis Kelce got a touchdown. Shout out Travis, got that engagement. Got that engagement touchdown. So happy for him there, and saw that. But Mahomes, ended up having a good game at the end, 24 for 39, 258 and a touchdown. He also had a rushing touchdown, 68, 57 yards touchdown. He was the leading rusher on the Chiefs as well. So, Chiefs, they always do this every year where I think they just tank in the beginning of the season, so I don't think most of them. But honestly, with the Chiefs, thing I'm seeing is a lack of speed on the outside. I think the receivers are getting old. Of course, Travis Kelce's getting older, not getting the separation he used to get. But Rashee Rice coming back after the suspension will be a really big pickup for them just because he's a difference maker out there. And Chiefs will be all right. The only thing I didn't like about the Chiefs was the D-line got dominated the whole game. Chris Jones didn't really wreak havoc as he usually does. But, they'll get that fixed with the Chiefs. So, good win for the Chargers, getting a good early season divisional win, which is going to help them going forward. And it looked like Jim Harbaugh went against his running philosophy all day and trusted Justin Herbert to sling it. He knew he had a little extra juice with that Madison Beer news. So, bang! Next game, Bucs-Falcons. Another great game. I went with the Bucs in this game as well. I like the Falcons. I've always liked the Falcons. I think the Falcons can make things happen, but for some reason the Falcons, when it comes to big moments or big things, they lose and they choke big things. I mean, Penix had a great game, 27-42, 298, a touchdown. I know he also had a rushing touchdown at the end of the game that was big. But, again, the Buccaneers, whether you like them or not, whatever you think of them, Baker Mayfield always comes through in clutch. Seems like he makes big plays. Doesn't have, he was 17 for 32 for 167, but 3 touchdowns. Big touchdown at the end. Was the leading rusher on the Buccaneers as well. So that's not going to help. But Bijan had a really good game. Not great game rushing, 12 carries for 24 yards. But great game receiving, 6 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. So that was great. But Buccaneers, man, Baker Mayfield comes through again in clutch situations. I think it's time people start giving Baker the respect he deserves because I think he's finally back, and he's been back for the last couple of years. So that was great. Great to see that win. And Buccaneers, I think, are forcing the NFC South. I want the Falcons to be, but they can't figure out a way to get over that hump yet. And I don't like that from the team. So next, Bengals-Browns. Wow. Bengals won the game 17-16. Browns should have won. Joe Flacco ended up with 2 picks in the game. Both the picks, maybe the first one a little bit on him, but both the picks weren't really on him. Driving down the field on the second pick when they should have won with a field goal, guy bounced off his hands, got picked off by the receiver, by the cornerback. What do you really want? But Chase Brown had a good game. Jerry Jeudy ended up playing decent. Jamar Chase, was kind of non-existent. Joe Burrow, played good enough. Didn't play, to MVP level. 14 for 23, 113, 1 touchdown. That was the stat lines for Joe Burrow. Didn't play the best game that I thought he would play, but nonetheless got the win, and they got out there with a win. Better way to start the season than they usually do. But Browns fans, Joe Flacco, man, he still got it slinging. He's still doing good things, so I wouldn't be too nervous about that. Browns defense showed up. Of course, Myles Garrett showed up. Bengals got a lot of things to fix. I didn't really like what I saw from them, but made the plays when they needed to and got the win. So who cares, right? So boom, next game, Dolphins-Colts. Wow, that was a game. I think I went with the Colts. I hope I did because the Dolphins, what I'll say about Mike McDaniel, I think he's a great offensive mind, great offensive coach, but unfortunately for a head coach, if you coach in that more player-friendly, soft kind of attitude, I don't think that's going to win. I don't think that win games anymore. I think we saw it with John Fox with the Broncos a couple years ago, and he was the coach, great winner, gets to Super Bowls, but that softness isn't there. It's not going to win you a Super Bowl. Gary Kubiak came in, fixed that. So Dolphins, I think they got a lot of fix. I think Tua, I think he has to improve. I didn't like what I saw from him. But Daniel Jones, man, if you didn't like what you saw from Daniel Jones, 22 for 29, 272, 1 touchdown. Throwing, Michael Pittman had a great game. Jonathan Taylor, played well. But Daniel Jones also, 7 carries, 26 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ended the game with 3 touchdowns. And played really well. Looked poised in the pocket. Had time to actually throw the ball. I think that was a big difference that we saw from the Giants as well. Daniel Jones on the Colts has an offensive line that gives him time to block. And I've always been one that has said that Daniel Jones isn't that bad of a quarterback. He unfortunately just got on the Giants, and we see what happens when people leave the Giants. They miraculously become a lot better. Sam Darnold, you could take, for example, before Saquon, of course, was always really, really good, but just kind of boosted himself when he went to the Eagles. Daniel Jones, we'll see what happens with most of the rest of the season. Again, he was playing Miami, but really impressed me, had the poise, again, looked like an NFL quarterback, and I've been saying that he's not a bad quarterback. He just was in a bad situation. So happy for him and go forward with the Colts. I think that could be a interesting division going forward. So next game we got is the Raiders and the Patriots, which was, kind of a toss-up game as well. I thought the Patriots could have won that game, but Raiders ended up winning. Pete Carroll, again, a great coach, showed his poise. Jonte, nothing to write home about, 19 carries, 38 yards, 1 touchdown, so averaging 2 yards a carry. Not great. Geno, 24 for 34, 362, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Geno, the thing with Geno is he'll throw for a lot of yards. But doesn't get a lot of touchdowns. So they got the win. Brock Bowers, unfortunately, got hurt, but was balling out the whole game. That team without Brock Bowers, I want to see because I think Brock is, kind of the cog that makes the wheel go or whatever the saying is. But Patriots, I think, are going to be a tough team all year. Mike Vrabel's going to have that team tough. I don't think they're going to be a great team this year because they still have a lot of holes on that team. It just doesn't get miraculously fixed by getting Mike Vrabel as a coach. I just think they were in kind of a weird limbo. So, good win for the Raiders. Pete Carroll down there in Vegas, I think is a great hire for them. And as long as he's there, they'll be a decent team. So, boom. Next game we got is the Cardinals and the Saints. Cardinals ended up winning as I predicted, but not as handily as I kind of thought. Cardinals 20, Saints 13. Kyler had a good game. Cardinals had a good game. Controlled most of the game, but at the end of the game kind of let up a lot, and Saints almost made a comeback. Unfortunately for Spencer Rattler, first quarterback since David Ball to lose his first 7 games as a starter. Not really on him, to be honest. The Saints have just been a bad team the last couple of years, but, didn't play bad, didn't put him in any bad situations, but didn't get any touchdowns as well. I think the Saints are going to be one of those teams that week by week, depending on if you get them on a good week or a bad week, they'll beat you. I think Kellen Moore's got a good system going on down there. It's going to get him going, but still got a lot to fix on the Saints. But Cardinals, Kyler, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison, James Conner, Trey Benson. I think they're going to be a decent team this year in the NFC West. Just got to stay consistent. I mean, they usually peak at the beginning of the year and then kind of plateau off or even go downhill at the end of the year. So we'll see what happens there, but excited for them going forward. Next game, one of the best games of the week, Steelers-Jets. I went with the Steelers, but wow, man, I was impressed. Let me start off, Steelers 134, Jets 32, but let me start off by saying this side of the conversation. Justin Fields is a starting quarterback in the league. He's always been a starting quarterback in the league. I've consistently said that. I love Justin Fields. I think he was not the problem on the Bears. I think he can throw the ball well. You just got to make a system more around him. Let him run the ball. That's what he's good at. I mean, people didn't say Lamar could be quarterback because, all he can do is run this and that. It's like they let Lamar Jackson run and use how dynamic he is to be good at quarterback. Let's do that with Justin Fields because that's part of why he's so good as a quarterback. So, made the throws when he needed to, was very consistent. Defense kind of let him down, but Jets, they impressed me. They showed like they had a lot of heart. Aaron Glenn got that team playing hard and playing with belief, and I think that's what the Jets fans wanted to see for so long. So great to see that, and but let's get on the other side. Aaron Rodgers, man, 22 for 30, 244, 4 touchdowns. Say what you want. I've always been on the Aaron Rodgers. I didn't think he was washed last year. He was a 40-year-old coming off an Achilles tear. It takes more than 4, 5, 6 months to be completely healthy and back. I think he finally – in this game, felt healthy and felt like his legs were back under him. You saw him slinging the ball with arm angles that I don't know how he gets so much power on the ball. But, Steelers usually pride themselves on running and defense, and they had neither of that in the game. So is it the Aaron Rodgers fault or something? Because whenever he goes to teams, their defense just goes bad. But hopefully Steelers get that figured out on the running game and the defense. If they get it figured out, Steelers could be a force to be reckoned with in the AFC with Aaron Rodgers playing like that, and I think he'll continue to play like that because he is that good of a quarterback and always has been. So, next game, Giants-Commanders. Commanders 21, Giants 6. Kind of predicted this as well. I knew the Commanders would win. Jane Daniels 19 for 32, 31 touchdown. Jay Kroski, Merritt, I think is a rookie running back. 10 carries, 82 yards, really great game. And as well as Debo, 7 catches for 77 yards. So Debo kind of turned back the clock a little bit, looked really, really good. Jaden Daniels, of course, was in control. Just plays with such a poise and such a, calm presence about him that is just impressive to see from a second-year quarterback. But Commanders, again, are going to be a team in the NFC that's going to be a tough to beat. I mean, Cowboys are back this year. I think Eagles are, of course, back. Giants, we'll see. But Giants, get over to the Giants side. I've been saying it. If Daboll wants to keep his job, Russell Wilson has to go. I love him. I think he was a great quarterback, Hall of Famer in his career, but I just don't think he has it anymore. I think Jackson Dart gives you a better chance to win. And if you don't want to start the rookie, let Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston at least, takes opportunities, takes some chances that you need. I mean, 6 points. Offense was very stagnant, didn't take any chances, very short game stuff that, it's not going to win you games. If your defense is really, really good and you're up and that's how you need to win, get Russ in there. But, to get up ahead and take some chances, got to get Jackson Dart or Jameis up in there. So we'll see. Daboll, just trying to save your job, bro. You do you, but that's what we're doing there. Panthers, Jaguars, next game. Jaguars won this game. Excuse me. Trevor Lawrence, 19 for 31, 178, 1 touchdown. Travis Hunter, I think it's 6 catches for 33 yards. So Jaguars, impressed me a little bit. Trevor Lawrence, looked like more in control of the offense. The offense looked a lot better. Of course, Travis Etienne, 16 carries, 143, had a lot better game plan. Should be with Liam Cohen coming in, was a great offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, kind of helped Baker again, revive his career again there, as well as Dave Canales. So, love what Liam Cohen's doing. Hopefully he helps Trevor Lawrence become who he can be, because then they have the chance at the AFC South as well, which is a pretty wide open division. So, congrats to them on the first win. Panthers looked okay. Bryce Young looked kind of like he reverted a little bit, but, nothing too bad there. So, excited to see what happens there going forward in the season. But let's get to the next game, and that was the Broncos-Titans. I wanted to ride with my Titans. I went with the Broncos because that's my home. Broncos ended up winning 20-12. But Broncos fans, if there's anything I can tell you, the defense is the truth. Y'all's defense could be, a historical defense all time. It's amazing. But Bo Nix did not play a great game. 25 for 40, 176, one touchdown. I know he had a pick, and I think he had 2 fumbles lost. So Cortland Sutton had a really, really good game. He impressed me as well as R.J. Harvey. But, Bo Nix, he has to improve. I mean, Titans, they don't get the credit they deserve for the defense they have. Their defense is really, really good. And especially the front 7 is really, really good. So that probably gave Bo Nix troubles all day. But, just didn't look comfortable in the pocket. The offense kind of looked like they reverted back a little bit. Kind of didn't take as many shots as they wanted to. But, as always, first week of season defense is farther along than offense. So I think that's something that could be easily fixed and easily move forward. But Broncos are going to have to make some change if they want to win that division and make some noise this year in the AFC. But Titans, Cam Ward's debut could have been a little better. He could have played better. But, had some drop balls. A couple balls might have been thrown a little bit too hard, though, as well. But, again, if they hit you in the hands, I don't care what you are. You're an NFL receiver getting paid millions of dollars. You got to catch the ball. But I will say Calvin Ridley, don't know what's happened to him. He was dropping balls over the place. Just doesn't look like he got that same drive anymore that he cares about. So, we'll see. I think the Titans are a decent team. I think the defense could keep them in a lot of games. And if Cam Ward and that offense get flowing a little bit better, which they will, they're going to be a decent team to going forward this year. Next game, 49ers-Seahawks. 49ers 17, Seahawks 13. I went with the Seahawks just because my boy Jake Gonzalez loves the Seahawks. He told me not to go with them anymore because he thinks it's my fault they lose. I would disagree because look at all the other picks that I've gotten right. So, anyways, Seahawks, they had chance in the game. Sam Darnold played really, really good. Just couldn't make the plays when it happened. I mean, that fumble at the end of the game to pretty much lose the game is I got nothing to say about that. That's rough. But going back to the Falcons game, I know they missed a field goal in that game, so it could have been overtime. But anyways, Christian McCaffrey, 22 carries, 69 yards, and had a good amount of catches. I think he had like 9 catches. So good to see him back healthy and on the field and doing Christian McCaffrey type things, being a fantasy beast. But Seahawks defense really, really good. 49ers looked good. Kittle looked good. Brock Purdy, of course, looked consistent. And those are how those games are going to be in the NFC West. Battles, 13-17 games, and that's how it goes. So good win for the 49ers. Brock Purdy played well, in control of the game. Jackson Njigba had a really, really good game as well, 9 receptions, 124. So I guess Ohio State is wide receiver U. I mean, Emeka Buko, too, on the Buccaneers went crazy. So next game, Lions-Packers. Packers 27, Lions 13. I went with the Packers in this game just because of Micah Parsons' trade. I thought they'd be riding off the high of that. And the Lions, unfortunately, lost both their coordinators, so that's going to take a little bit to get used to. So Packers really controlled all facets of this game. 27-13 was the final score, but Packers dominated from start to finish. Jordan Love looked really good, poised in the pocket. Looked like third year. He knows what he's doing, knows exactly where to go at what time. Matt LaFleur looked ready to go. Micah Parsons, for the 30 snaps he played, had a sack, had that impact play, and also just being out there, just the amount of attention he brings is unmatched to any other person. So great for the Packers, man. I think the Packers are going to be a scary team in the NFC this year if Jordan Love stays consistent and gets better throughout the year because that defense is good, and Micah Parsons is he elevates any defense. So big win for the Packers there in the division. Good start. Next game we got was the Texans and the Rams. Rams won 14-9. Rams, Stafford 21 for 29, 245, 1 touchdown. Kyron, 18 carries, 66-yard touchdown. Puka Nacua, man, 10 receptions, 130. That dude gets fed. Stafford loves him. McVay, the Rams, they look good, man. Stafford, his injury history is what it is, but he always thugs it out. Really, really tough dude. And just really a great player, a great quarterback with McVay. So I think the Rams are one of those teams. I think they could win. I think they're going to win the NFC West. I think they're the team that has the best chance other than the Eagles to make it out of the NFC. I think just Stafford's that good. They were the almost closest team to beat the Eagles last year. But Texans, C.J. Stroud, very mid-game, didn't play up to his standard, I think. He's a lot better player than that. But we'll see, man. I think it's they're going to be all right in the AFC South. That's going to be a battle of a division. I really do think that. And Yeah. Next game we got my favorite game of the week and the best game of the week, the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. Again, I rode with my Buffalo Bills because I love the Buffalo Bills, man. But wow, 4 minutes left in that game, I didn't think the Bills had any chance to win the game. And for Josh Allen to do what he did, I think he had 251, 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. That's Dill's dude of the week. There we go. Boom. That's Dill's dude of the week. I did it last year. I'm back on this year. Of course, it's going to Josh Allen. No bias this week, even though he's my boy. But 33 for 46, 394, two passing touchdowns. Also had 2 rushing touchdowns. Wow, man, that was just a great game. But Josh Allen coming through, proving why he's the MVP, why he should consistently be the MVP. Been saying it for years now that he is the best quarterback in the league. Not even close, not even a debate. He is that good of a quarterback, and he deserves the credit he deserves. But on the other side of the ball, Lamar Jackson had a really, really great game, as well as Derrick Henry. The Bills' defense couldn't stop anybody for the whole game until they got the big fumble with Derrick Henry. That kind of swung the whole game and allowed the Bills to win that game. But for the Bills to score the touchdown, get it back to the Ravens, score the next touchdown, not get the 2-point conversion, so still need the field goal to win the game, get another stop, and then kick a field goal, win the game was unbelievable. One of the better Sean McVay coaching jobs I've ever seen. Again, the defense needs to tighten up a lot because Josh Allen played out his mind. Keon Coleman sighting. We had a Keon Coleman sighting. Love to see it, man. Keon, man, I've been a believer in you. I love your attitude. I think it's going to be a great year for you. So, but what just a great game by 2 great opponents. You know, great quarterbacks. Josh Allen, of course, great. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry had a great game. But big win for the Bills in the beginning of the year, considering that's one of the harder opponents they're going to play. Defense got to tighten up, but Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He is the MVP. Could go back-to-back just because he's that special. He's always been that special. And, great to see Matt Prater getting good big kicks in still. I mean, Matt Prater, Broncos GOAT, still got the leg. I almost like Matt Prater saying the team over Tyler Bass, but that's whatever. That's my take of the day. But Dill's dude of the week, Josh Allen. You're the man, bro. Keep it up. And then the last game of the week was one that unfortunately hurt me. We had the Vikings and the Bears on Monday Night Football. I went with the Bears. I had so much belief, so excited, and then the Bears did what the Bears do, and that's be Bears. Was consistently winning the whole game, dominating both sides of the field, every side. Defense looked great, offense looked good enough. Vikings went crazy in the fourth quarter, 21 points. J.J. McCarthy actually impressed a lot, ended up with 3 touchdowns, had a good game at the end of the game. At the beginning looked really unsettled, didn't really know what's going on, but kind of settled in at the end of the game. And then the Vikings victory. So all credit to them. Kevin O'Connell, of course, is an amazing coach, doesn't get the credit he deserves, but Bears really choked away that game. Caleb had a good game, 21-35, 210, 1 passing touchdown. I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns. Or no, he only had the 1 because he didn't get it. So 1-1. But, Bears had the opportunities. The defense kind of let up at the end. Don't know what happened. I know Dennis Allen will get that team right. But Bears, you get my hopes up all 4 quarters and you just lose in the fourth quarter. Why do you consistently do this? You got to get over that mindset, Bears. It's time to do it. But, great game nonetheless for a great beginning of the season. A lot of great games. Vikings come out on top. Bears, that's going to be a tough game that they lose early in the division, but could get it back. Big game against the Lions coming next week, which we'll talk about on the next Dyl Talks Sports video tomorrow when we talk about predictions. But great week 1 NFL season, man. So excited for this. Again, would love, to get on other YouTubers, sportscasting, and just talk more about it. Appreciate everyone joining along and following along my journey and supporting me on the way. Again, I wouldn't be able to do this without y'all. So that was Dyl Talks Sports. That was week 1 NFL. Best week. We're going to be back with an NFL prediction tomorrow, as well as a college football prediction. And we're going to get into it and just continue to build your dynasty. Keep being you guys. God bless. Deuces.